Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Busy Bakers, and we're going to be making cheese scones this afternoon. I think it's kind of the right weather for cheese scones. It's gone a bit rainy again. So I'm going to wait for you all to log on, but feel free to say hello. This is a nice interactive session. I do like getting your comments, so I just want to make sure that I've got your comments coming through. But yeah, just let me know who I've got with me, and whether you're maybe watching along first or whether you're baking with me. Hopefully you've seen all the ingredients that were posted, but we're going through those as well. So if you've just seen it, want to join in, that's not a problem. So I'm just checking. I'll give you a few minutes. And we're all set up. I've got the oven on. I'll let you know the. Oh, here we go. Hello, Michelle. I hope these are as delicious as your apple pie. Hi, Sue. Nice to have you with us. Yeah. Well, I think so. I do like a cheese scone. So your oven temperature needs to be 200 degrees Celsius or 180 if you're using a fan oven. Hi, Louise. Yeah, I don't know whether it's raining where you are, but it is here, and I was getting used to a bit of sun, so cheese scones is just the thing. Hi, Bridget. Right, so hopefully you've got your ovens on. I'll just repeat that. Hi, Emily, and hi, Joy. So preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius or 180 for fan. And then, just so you've got things ready, I'm using a baking tray with a bit of parchment paper over the top. You don't absolutely need parchment paper, but I'm a bit distrusting of sticking to baking trays, so I tend to just put a little bit on top of there. So just have that at the ready for later on, so we can put that in the oven straight away. And then we've got, I'm just going to run through the ingredients. There's not masses today. Hi, Susan. You've got blue skies in Darlington. Oh, we need to move. So 225 grams of self-raising flour. I've also got my baking powder, some cayenne pepper. You don't have to add this, but it really does bring out that cheesy flavour. A bit of salt. I've got a pinch of salt. It's not for eggs today. It's just to keep my salt in. 50 grams of cold butter. I do recommend you use absolutely butter and that it is cold because we're going to rub it into the flour. And I've got 100 grams of cheddar cheese here. We're going to use most of it in the mix and save a little bit for the sprinkling on top. And I've got 100 ml of milk there as well. So that's everything that we're going to need ingredients-wise. I've got Sue saying, sounds a bit funny for me, so we'll watch the recording. Hopefully, that's improved for you, Sue. Jackie's in the lovely sunshine from Derbyshire. Oh, it's just Hampshire then. It's just it's been a bit of that day, but we have had lots of sunshine, so I'm not going to complain too much. Right, so first things first, we are going to add 225 grams of self-raising flour to a bowl. Now, you can sieve this if you want, you don't have to. So 225 grams of self-raising flour going into the bowl there. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking powder to that. In there. It's very echoey, says Tracy. Oh, I'm really sorry about that. I'll bring it a bit nearer. I'm hoping that's a bit better for you. If it's a problem, everyone let me know. I think if I put my microphone in, I can try it for you, but I think you don't hear me. Let me get it and see if that helps. Okay, I'm back, guys. Let's see. Little technical bit. Can you still hear me? You're going to have to let me know because I've got a feeling with the laptop this takes the sound off. So I'll wait to. Can you hear me? Yes? No? I'm guessing you couldn't hear me with the microphone in, so I'm going to leave it out, and we're going to keep going. So the flour, we've got 225 grams with a teaspoon of baking powder. And then I'm going, oh, you could hear me. I think there's a delay. You could hear me, right, okay. Let's put that on. There we go, guys. Hopefully that's better for you. Let me know, just maybe say that's better, and we'll keep going. We've also suddenly got sunshine, so obviously talking to you guys, the sun has been brought over to Hampshire, so thanks for that. So 225 grams of self-raising flour, and I've added a teaspoon of baking powder, and I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt, or pinch, whatever you like. There we go, pinch of salt, and the cayenne pepper. Again, just a pinch. I'm going to use a spoon just so I don't get it all over with the my fingers. Oh, I'm glad that it's better with the microphone. Thank you for that, Christine. There we go. So I've got about a third of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. We need to mix that in together really before we do anything else. So I'll angle this down a bit so you can see my bowl. There we go. Got a squeaky chair that you're probably picking up on as well. Right, so that's the flour, the salt, the baking powder, and the cayenne pepper. And I've just mixed all that together. So once you've got that, we're going to add 55 grams of cold butter. Laurie's struggling to see the video. Oh no, Laurie. Should be able to open it up. Not sure the area there. Technical issues and me. I can manage a microphone. If you've just heard beeping, that is my oven coming up to temperature. So what I'm doing now is the butter. I've just added my 55 grams of butter into the bowl. I've already chopped it up. You don't need to, but it's a bit easier if you've chopped it up, just so that we can break it up into the flour. That's why we use cold butter, because you don't want melted butter all over your hands. We want to make it like breadcrumbs. So I'm squeezing the butter, keeping the flour around it so my hands don't get sticky, and I'm just breaking that up into the flour until we get something that resembles breadcrumbs. I'll show you what mine looks like in a moment. So a bit floury, but not too bad. Thank you, Virtual Village Hall, for the technical support there. Hopefully Laurie's found us again with video this time. So give that a good, takes a minute to do this. Bear with it. Say we make a lot of scones, mainly fruit scones for our business and cream teas. But I do really love a cheese scone, and when you serve them warm, oh, they're just great, aren't they? I can't see the video, the writing on the video. I think you can remove the comments if you don't want to see those. I will be pulling the bowl up towards camera in a minute, so you can see inside. I have used a transparent bowl so you can see what my hands are doing, and just kind of almost tickling the butter, kind of using my hands. And you can get a tool to do this. Audio is bad. Sounds like Norman Collier. I don't know who Norman Collier is, but that doesn't sound good. I'm getting mixed signals on the sound. Trying my best, guys. Right. I'll bring this up to you. Bear with me. There we go. So that is what you should see inside your bowl there. Kind of a bit of a floury breadcrumb mix. And then to that, you want to add almost all your cheese. You've got 100 grams, so try about 80, 90 grams of it, depending on how much you want to put on top of your scones. Add that to your mix. So I've already grated mine. If you need to grate your cheese, you can do so. It only took me a minute or so to do that. It's your speaking, writing comes. Okay, sorry, I'm reading your comments as well, but I think Virtual Village Hall are on it for your technical bits there. So I'm just going to take a bit out just so I've got a bit more for my scones. So I'm just going to mix that cheese in. I mean, you're not going to get it to do much, but you just want it to make sure that there's no big clumps, so you've got even distribution. So what I find, if you, by adding the cayenne pepper or mustard to anything cheesy, you can do this in a cheese sauce as well, it intensifies the flavour of the cheese. So if you happen to be making a cheese sauce, try adding a bit of mustard next time, or a little bit of pepper, and see what you think. See if you see the difference, or taste the difference. Right. So that is my mixture with the cheese grated and just mixed into that. Let me know if you're baking along with me. Do let me know how you're doing with that. So we'll give you a minute. Today, just went to pick one up. It's not there. I was going to drink my jug of milk instead. So I'm going to just give you a minute to catch up. Don't want to go too fast. If you've missed any points at all, please do let me know, and I will help. So hopefully also you caught up with the very start that I said, put your ovens on as well. Sue says, all fine, thank you. Excellent. Thanks for letting me know. So we're going to add the milk to this. So I would make a bit of a well in the centre of your bowl, like so, to put your milk in. And what that does, it just helps pick up all the loose bits from the bottom, so you're not leaving it till last. Good afternoon, Linda. Mandy said, I've heard that a pinch of mustard adds to the flavour of cheese, Michelle. Is that right? It is. Yes, Mandy. Yeah. So if you're making anything with cheese, a bit of mustard really does bring out that flavour. So, yeah, things like cheese sauce, cheese scones, cheese straws, cheese sauce and cheese straws, anything like that. By adding, and cayenne pepper will do that too, but particularly the mustard in sauces is a great way to go. Right, so I'm going to add 100 ml of milk to the mix. There we go. If you want to add a tiny bit of mustard to this, guys, you can, but the cayenne pepper will do a good job. So my milk's now added, that's 100 ml, and I'm going to use my wooden spoon here to mix all that together and combine it all into a dough. Now this mixture will make 4 good-sized scones. You will be able to get more if you make them smaller than me, but I do like a nice big scone. So it should come together. It shouldn't be too sticky. I will show you, but it shouldn't be sticking to your hands when this all comes together. But it shouldn't be crumbly either. So there we go. Getting there. Just there's a bit of loose flour at the bottom, so I'm just making sure I'm picking all that up before I get my hands in and bringing that together as a ball. Hi Michelle, is it baking powder especially for scones? So I use baking powder just to help them rise. I do find it is good. I use baking powder rather than bicarbonate. I find that to be the better one. Hope that helps. Okay, I'm going to stand up for a minute. Sorry, I know I just decapitated myself. There we go. I'm just scraping down the spoon. There we go. And I'll bring this up to camera so you can see. So in my bowl, you can see it's all come together, but I'm going to literally push that with my hands to form a ball. Really, no eggs in this. I know some recipes with scones we call for eggs. You don't need anything for this. Can I put a pinch of nutmeg in the sauce for cauliflower? Oh, you put nutmeg in for cauliflower cheese. Oh yeah, that would work. That's nice. Yeah. So we do sweet scones and savoury, and neither use. Right. There we go. So I'm just pushing that in a bit just to bring it together. But hopefully, as you can see, it's not sticking to my hand, and it's full now. If baking powder is used, you must be using self-raising. Yeah, I am using self-raising. That's right. So there we go. Now, I did all this today and thought, have I got everything I need? And I suddenly realised I have no rolling pin or cutter. Now, if you don't have a rolling pin or cutter, you haven't got that much dough, you can press down with your hands, or even use the side of a wine bottle if you don't have a rolling pin. And also the cutters, if you don't have a cutter, you can use like a glass to press down to make your scones. Bear with me whilst I quickly go and get mine. Hang on. I'm attaching myself to the microphone now. There we go. There we go. Right. So I've got a cutter, which is about 6-7 centimeters in diameter, and a rolling pin. Now, if you feel the need to put flour down, extra flour down on your worktop, please do. But this isn't a very sticky dough, so you shouldn't really have it sticking to your worktop. So I'm going to roll mine out, and they're a couple of centimeters deep. There we go. Someone might be wanting to start from now. If you want to start making scones now, you could easily pop it together. But I think they're shown afterwards, so you can come back straight away because it will go onto their virtual village hall site. So I've still got some depth. If I use my fingers, you can see it's like 2 fingers deep. And I'm going to cut out some scones. There we go. That's kind of the depth, if that's scale wise. It's about 2 of my fingers. So cut them out. You won't get 4 in the first go. You'll get 3 maybe. Yeah, I'm getting 3. But then we need to put it all together to get that 4th. And to be honest, I might even get a 5th out of this. You'll definitely get 4. We always end up, when we make scones, you get some 4 good ones, and then you get the weird one at the end. That's kind of all out of shape, but just as tasty. I quite like that one. There we go. So that's my 4th. I've actually got quite a bit here, so I'll push that together. How large is the cutter? It's about 7 centimeters. You can make them a bit bigger, a bit smaller. We're going to bake these for 18 minutes. So if you make slightly smaller ones, you might just want to reduce that by a few minutes. So what I've done with that last bit is I've put the dough into the cutter, and I've just used my fingers to press down to create a rough shape. Then I'm going to pop those on my baking tray. As I said, I always put a bit of baking paper on as well. I'm a bit distrusting of things sticking to trays. Now, when I make sweet scones, I tend to brush with a bit of milk and pop them in. But as we're going to do cheese ones today, I'll show you these first. There you go. There's the scones ready to go. As we're putting cheese on these, or cheese in these, I'm going to use just a little extra and just place it on the top. So we get a nice bubbly bit of cheese to eat. It's rather yummy. There we go, just making sure I'm keeping up with your comments. I think I am. So the nice thing about these is they don't take too long to cook, and then to eat them warm with a bit of butter. You could even make it into a bit of ploughman's, couldn't you? Serve it with a bit of salad and a selection of cheeses, a bit of chutney. I think they make a really good alternative to a sandwich as well. There we go. I know the kids have just come back from school and they'll be wanting to eat one of these as their school snacks. Yeah, so I'm just making sure that I've used all my cheese up. And then once you've got them all done, you can pop them into, you want them to be in a preheated, I've just seen that your comments come up about temperature. Make sure you put them into your preheated oven. So that's 200 degrees for conventional oven and 180 for pan. So let me pop those in now. There we go. I'll put a timer on. And so you want to bake them for around 18 minutes. I mean, if you can smell, if they smell done, and you have a look, put your light on, if they're nice and golden and they've risen and they smell done after 16, 17 minutes, you know, do bring them out. Every oven's a little bit different, but 18 minutes is right. As I said, if you make them slightly smaller, it might be nearer the 15 minutes. But I'm hoping, if you have any questions, keep going. We might be able to get these out before the end of the workshop and enjoy some cheese scones together. Do these work for gluten-free, and what flour do you recommend to Jane? Jane, I've actually tried with gluten-free, and I would recommend, yeah, sorry, someone commented about the sound being bad. Really sorry. There, hopefully that's a bit better. I would recommend a different type of recipe for gluten-free because I think you would need an egg more for that. I have made them. They're a little bit denser, so I would be tempted to use an egg. In terms of flour, I mean, we've used the Dove's flour before, but I've got to admit, with gluten-free scones, I've not made them to my satisfaction yet. So if you have made gluten-free scones and you want to share with the viewers your experience of what you found really worked, do feel free to share. With the cakes, I found Dove's free from flour is lovely to use. We use the self-raising version. But just for the scones, at the moment, I suppose because they're so heavy, there's so much flour in them, I'm not completely satisfied. And I do think that an egg might be the way to go. So Heather, I hope I've solved the sound problem for you. I think it is a little bit echoey in here today, although I don't really know why it is. But hopefully that's a bit better. So if you have any questions about today's bake or anything else, if you want to know to change it to a sweet scone, you can use a lot of the same measurements, but obviously don't put salt and cayenne pepper or cheese in. If you want to make a sweet scone, you can do the same amount of flour, but add just a tablespoon of sugar and a handful of fruit, and then to add your, the butter and the flour still and the milk, and then you've got some really nice fruit scones there. Jill's, but you could vary with half self-raising, half wholemeal, and a little extra baking powder. Yeah, you could. Also, you could do different Yeah, Louise, I was just about to say that. You could um, you could make them with some cheese and chives or some rosemary. There's lots of different things that you could put in to your scones. Chili. I think when we've done this before, someone's used chorizo or sun-dried tomatoes. So you can really alter these to be exactly as you like them. Mandy said, Michelle, I've previously made these replacing the butter with oil. They taste really nice. Any thoughts? Yeah, so I suppose you get quite a moist scone by using the oil. I haven't actually tried that one. I've tried making scones with lemonade before for sweet scones. They've got some really good results, and I lost my recipe. So I haven't actually managed to recreate it since. Um, Emily said, my son's vegan. Does it work with vegan cheese and coconut oil instead of butter? So if I was to do that, I would probably use um, personally, I'd probably use a plant-based block of butter, not a spread. I'd go for a block so it has a similar properties. And yeah, vegan cheese, I can't see why not. Bill said, I've always used dry herbs for cheese scones. Yeah, you can. I mean, they're so versatile. The same with sweet scones, whichever way you choose to do. Once you've got your basic structure, your basic dough, you can add whatever you want in it. I quite like the idea. I mean, you can add olives, you can add Mediterranean, you can add herbs from the garden. Really, and also what you're serving them with. If you're going to be serving it up as part of a meal, and you've got quite a lot of like antipasti, you can really bring that Mediterranean flavour into your scones. Yeah, I think they're a really nice thing to make. As I said, I'm not very good with sandwiches, and I don't tend to eat a lot of bread, but I do like a scone served up for lunch. I think that's quite a nice. I suppose it's the warmth as well. I quite like. If you want to freeze these, you could. Obviously, we're not making masses of them, so hopefully you'll get to eat them all. Sue said, can I repeat the oven temperature? Yes, it's 200 degrees Celsius or 180 for fan. Just make sure that you put your scones into a hot oven so that they're immediately going to start baking at the right temperature. Yeah, these will last. They're best eaten on the day. I think scones overall, eat them on the day. You can eat them the next day. It's not a problem. Just keep them in a sealed container or a Ziploc bag just to keep the freshness in. And you can always reheat just to warm if you want to. Sorry, yes, 200 degrees Celsius. Thank you very much, virtual. So yeah, I hope you do like making these. I don't know if you're baking these with children today, but if you haven't, they are actually a really good one for kids to do because they're not too time consuming either, and they don't take a long time to bake. So, I mean, I like it because I'm a pretty impatient person, and I like having something to eat pretty fast. We're coming back as well, guys, to do some pizza making with you. We're talking about making something and eating it pretty quickly. That is one of them. So do look out for that. It's going to be nice, healthy pizzas. So we'll show you how to make the pizza dough from scratch. We're going to put all the toppings on and bake them. And honestly, it'll be nice and quick. And then you will have your dinner ready for the evening. If you've got any other questions, please do ask. I'm hoping we can get these out the oven to look at. They're looking pretty good though, guys. They're rising nicely and the cheese is nicely bubbling on top. So I don't know if you've got yours in, but it's about 18 minutes we're looking for if you've put yours in and you weren't sure. About 18 minutes. So yeah, I'm trying to give you other things to, any nuggets of information you'd like about baking. Do feel free to use this time whilst we wait for the cheese scones to bake to ask me questions. I think what we could have done, well, we couldn't have done it in a time frame, but a nice chutney or something to go with these. If you've got some bits and bobs that you can make into a chutney, there you go, you can make that to go with these scones. We did cherry bakewell. Oh, that's brilliant, Bridget. Hers are rising nicely as well. We did a cherry bakewell workshop a while and we were saying what jam we were using, and then it seemed like many of our viewers actually had made their own jam, which I thought was very impressive. So yeah, maybe we'll do one of those. Tomorrow, by the way, we're not doing it on Virtual Village Hall, but on Boozy Bakers, we're making, oh, not tomorrow, it's Thursday, isn't it? Saturday, we're making hot cross buns. So thought we'd get into the Easter spirit and make something nice and seasonal. But if you have any questions about baking at all, do use this time. I'll answer anything you like. We've just been making lots of smaller celebration cakes today. I made a nice Parisian themed cake and some cream teas. And then we're just looking at future workshops and things to bake that are particularly maybe you haven't tried before. We do like doing a lot of kind of yeast-based and kind of biscuits that you wouldn't normally do. And Emily's saying, thanks, I'm going to try your recipe and method. My scones usually turn out like biscuits. yeah, do. Tell you what, me and my husband both make scones a lot. I've noticed with his, he rolls them out about the same as I've done today with you, about 2 fingers deep. And they turn out better. I get a little bit carried away if I'm not careful. I try to make them too deep to begin with, and then they tip. So definitely go with the, I mean, I've got quite slender fingers, I've got to admit, but they are quite IT-ish. But I'm trying to go with about 2 fingers deep, and then they should rise without tipping. So she'll be there as usual. Gwen's asked, when are we doing the pizzas? April. We're going to do them in April. The Virtual Village Hall do put up a really good list of what's going on each week, so do keep a lookout. We're going to have a couple of workshops coming up with Virtual Village Hall that will be advertised as soon as I've given them all the details. So yeah, what else can I tell you? Yeah, what else have we done? We've done a few. I mean, we've done some with Virtual Village Hall with we've done lasagna and a 3-bean chili. Have we done 3-bean chili? Jill said lemon curd is easy to make and much nicer than shop bought. You could have that as a workshop. Yeah, we actually did through Boozy Bakers a lemon meringue pie workshop, and we made a lemon curd in that. And you're right, it's so much better than shop bought. Heather's put such a shame about the sound quality, as you seem to have a lot of great advice. It's really difficult, guys, to know what to do for the best. I can take the microphone off, then you've also told me it's more echoey without the microphone. So I'm just trying to work out which is the better way to do it. I'll remove the microphone just in case it's rubbing against any material, and I'll listen back to today's show, because we haven't had this problem before. So I'll listen back and try and work out how we can make that better for you next time. Jackie said, made the Jaffa cakes earlier today. They're all gone. I know, we did Jaffa cakes. So you can get a lot of our workshops on our YouTube channel as well, Boozy Baker YouTube channel. But we made Jaffa cakes by someone's request. They were really good, but they made about 12, and I think I had viewers contacting me constantly saying about they were on like their 3rd batch. They were good. I'm always looking for an easy cookie recipe using dates. Okay, so I haven't made one using dates, but we do have a really nice oatmeal biscuit recipe. Dates would suit really well with that. You could add those if you're looking to use dates as your main ingredient. I haven't done that yet, but we could look to do that. And we've also got a gooey chocolate cookie recipe I would highly recommend. A lot of what we do either has to be quick or it has to have a cheat to make it easier. And the gooey chocolate cookie one, not only are they quick to make, you can roll them up into balls and then freeze them for a month and then just bring them out as and when you want a sweet treat. So I know they're not the healthiest thing to be doing, but they're quite good in terms of you don't have lots lying around the house to tempt you. You just bring them up as and when, and they just take 12 minutes to bake. So that's always a good thing to do with baking, is make a batch, and then if things freeze, pop them in the freezer, and then you save time later to do it. Could you replace the cheese with dates? For this recipe of scones, yeah, you could. Can't see why not. Just I'd chop them up a bit so that it's not too heavy. Let me see how we're doing. We've got 5 minutes left. Oh, I've got nice round tops to the scones now. They're looking pretty good. I'm beginning to smell them now as well, which is a good sign that they're done. So if there's anything that you'd like covered, you are welcome to get in touch with us and let me know. I know the apple pie one was pretty popular. It's a nice recipe, that. I do like a good apple pie. So if you haven't done that, if you haven't followed us before, go have a look at the Virtual Village Hall, and they've listed, they save all their videos, so you can, yeah, you can go back and watch them again. Just put no mustard with the dates. Good point. You will want to change and don't put mustard or cayenne pepper with dates. Is your phone on? It could be that. Maybe put it on silent. Is on, but it's pushed away. Let me push it away even further. Does that help? I know that before, when we've had a hob, an electric hob, and the microphone, it's played up. So I don't know. Maybe that's helped. It's a funny one today with sound. Hopefully, it's not been too bad for you all. It's not going to be too long until the scones come out. So I'm going to go and get a rack just so I can put it on in front of me and show you. So bear with me whilst I get the rack. There we go. All in anticipation. I've got a very squeaky chair as well today. We bought all these new stools, and one by one they're breaking. They start off with a squeak, and then they tend to snap. So you might get hilarious You've Been Trained moments of me falling off it, but it does keep squeaking at me. Oh, there we go again, lots of squeaking. Yeah, anything else I can help you with? Have we got people that do a lot of baking with us today? Do you like making your cakes or your savoury bakes? It's a really nice sausage roll recipe for the day using a rough pastry. Again, a bit of a time saver rather than doing too much heavy work on the puff pastry. And they're a really good one to do as well. It's gone quiet in the chats. I hope I can pull these out for you in a second so you can see the scones. And do remember, please do send the photos in to Virtual Village Halls. Pop them underneath the post so we can see all your bakes. I'd love to see them. It'd be great to share. And if you've done anything different, if you've added anything like your herbs, just make a note, just put underneath what you've done. We released a recipe book, and we put everyone's photos into the recipe book so we could share all these variations. It's great. Gwen's put, love baking, only do it in handfuls rather than measuring. Yeah, I can be a bit like that. I've had to get a bit better on the workshops because I tend to do like a handful of things. And then that's not so good when you're trying to teach people to bake. But I still like a bit of rustic baking, a bit of throw everything in. Right, I might pull these out in a minute so I can show you. Jill said that she weighs liquid. Yeah, well, I do tend to weigh liquid a bit more. Gwen said she makes wheaten bread and uses chapati flour, 5 handfuls. That's quite good though. I suppose the thing is though, your handfuls and someone else's handfuls, although I suppose everything's the same, isn't it? If you're using the same quantities, it doesn't matter whose hands. Nice way of doing it. Michelle Gordon's here from the WI Wanderers. Hi, Michelle. So I'm about ready to pull these out. To be honest, I want to eat one as well. It's my lunch. Oh, guys, they're looking good. There we go. Look at those. They look tasty. You've got a lot of parchment paper in your way. Hang on. Let me put this down. I'm just going to put the microphone up again. switch the timer off. There we go. I'm going to risk putting the microphone back up just so that I can push these around a bit and you can see the scones without all the paper in the way. There we go. I've got my funny one doesn't look too funny today. Sometimes they look a bit bubbly. There you go. So that's the scones. You can see the middle one and the side one. And oh, hang on, that one's my bubbly one at the front there, my one that I've pushed together, and then the rest. And they look pretty good. I've got to say they smell good. Hopefully yours are coming out. You've been baking them along with me. So I've got. They look delicious. They look lovely. Wow. Usually prefer a sweet scone, but they look delicious. Yeah. I mean, I eat a lot of sweet scones because we'll make hundreds. And there'll always be like a couple left. So I do have more sweet scones, but I do love a cheese scone. It needs smelly vision. No, Jackie, that's a really bad idea. The amount of food that pops up on my feeds, that'd be dangerous. I said yummy. I hope yours are coming out of the oven soon, and I hope they look good. Give them a minute. Don't try and handle them too soon. If a lot of things when they come out of the oven. If you try and hold them straight away, they're too soft. You need them to firm up a bit. So give them a few minutes to cool down. I'd probably eat these 5 minutes time, something like that. Just let them just come to a better temperature. You don't want to burn yourself either. And of course, if you're going to cut them up, they will release quite a lot of heat. So just give them a bit of time to cool down. And then enjoy, because you've earned it. Actually, there's not too bad for you. There's not too much cheese in them. We've used the cayenne pepper to accentuate that flavour, and then a bit of butter. It's nice, isn't it? So hopefully you are all happy with your scones, and you can have a go at making these if you haven't done it today. Go back on the video and have a go, and don't be afraid to add your own kind of variations to it. Just keep the main ingredients the same. Lots of thank yous coming through. You're very welcome. Enjoy making them. Apologies for any sound issues that we may have had. As I said, I will watch this back and I will look to see what the problem was. And I will see you again. Keep an eye on the Virtual Village Hall website for their upcoming workshops, and you will see us for pizza making soon. All right then, guys, take care, enjoy your scones, and I will see you again. Oh, and I can't remember how to log out, guys. There we go. Right, see you another time. Bye.